joined us live on Moneycontrol. I'm Manisha Gupta, and we're putting focus on metals right now because there is some rebound that we've seen in some pockets within the sector. I'll start with the non-ferrous metals first, and here we have seen copper prices gain a bit. It has to do with the weaker economic data that we have seen come in from China. So when you look at the China numbers in sense of surplus that shrank for a 13-month, the surprise rate heights that we saw in Australia and China and Canada also seem to be weighing onto the markets. And then there is strength in US dollar, and the treasury yields have been on the higher side as well. So there are a lot of factors which are weighing onto the markets right now. But as I said, it is going to be solely China, what it does in sense of stimulus measures. China has been talking about supporting its domestic buying, the property sector as well. And there are various reports and expectations, and Chinese officials also saying that they are looking to cut RRR or even rates for that matter. Whether that happens in this weekend, next week is something that the markets will keep an eye on. China for some time now has been talking about doing something in sense of stimulus measures, but we haven't seen something big, concrete, sustainable come in, and that is what really has been bothering. But with the latest data that has been so weak, markets do anticipate that you will see something sooner than later. Is the reason there is strength that you've seen come in for copper prices. Actually, when you look at a week-on-week basis, almost all the metals are doing well. On a month-on-month basis, some of them are still trading in the negative and negative by a double-digit percentage also. But for a week-on-week basis, with the kind of economic data that we have seen, the expectations are that China could be reacting pretty soon here. So copper, while is up 1.5% on week, it still is down by 5% on a month. In this week, we've seen zinc prices gain up by nearly 5%. Nickel is up 4.5% as well. And the best of the gains really coming in from the ferrous metals as a sector. So steel is off its 3-year lows. We've seen gains come in quite strongly. Actually, on a week-on-week basis, we've seen the steel prices gain up by nearly 5%. The China made steel imports also gained up by nearly 4.5% on an year-on-year basis, suggesting that even as China is curbing steel production, but imports really seem to be picking up right now. The best of the gains are in iron ore. That one is trading at a 7-week highs, and we've seen prices gain up by 10% in the month of June right now. While the individual fundamentals are still not very strong, with the steel demand not so strong, steel manufacturing data not so strong, iron ore being an ingredient is gaining only because the street anticipates that China could be reacting pretty soon. Most of the bankers and brokerages now tell us that it is not a sell call that they are giving in for any of those metals. All downticks or all declines are actually to be bought into. These are good accumulation levels. From here, you could be looking at 2 to 3 to 4% of a decline in metals, but an upside of 8 to 10% is what they are anticipating for this current quarter now.